anything but celebrate the first women's championship, regular season championship in Wofford history. The Terriers will be the #1 seed in Asheville. They beat Mercer 82-76. How sweet it is, the Wofford Terriers, Southern Conference Women's Basketball Champions of the regular season. A great way to start off our Southern Conference tournament preview. Jim Noble along with Jimmy Garrity. Later on, we will have men's coach Dwight Perry looking at the men's tournament. But boy, you and I have no voice left after the last game of the regular season. Has it sunk in yet, Jimmy, knowing that you've still got work to do? You guys have some time to savor this, don't you, though?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important. You got to enjoy the moment. And so, our players and the coaching staff, we really enjoyed, the rest of the day and throughout Sunday. So we've had a couple of days to think back on it and to reminisce some and to relive some of those moments. And it's just been awesome.
And it is the first women's championship of any sport in Wofford history. I don't think we even get that now. I think maybe in the summertime when you're kicked back at the beach,
probably so.
You'll understand, and I'm sure your players understand the significance of that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's one you look back years from now and say, "Holy cow, man, we were the first." So just again special, and the support of this community and the administration and the students and other coaches and players too throughout the sports here at Wofford has just been off the charts great.
Well, to clinch this championship, you had to do it against two of the Southern Conference's best. Sanford and Mercer came to town for the last two regular season games of the year. And they were very different endings in this one. You're in a dogfight with Sanford on Thursday night. And I don't know what happened near the end of the third quarter, but all of a sudden I looked up and you guys went on a 23-0 run. Like everything, it was keyed with defense. It was keyed with deflections. And then just the other end seemed to take care of itself.
Yeah, it was, back and forth. No one could really pull away. And then we got a couple of defensive stops that led to transition scores. And I feel like it was 3 possessions of steal, 3, steal, 3, steal, 3. And, but yeah, that fourth quarter, was just electric in here. It's one of the loudest I've ever, witnessed in this building. The student section was packed. It was awesome. And, our players played really well down the stretch.
So what turned out to be a close game turned out to be an 86-60 win for Wofford on Thursday night. And that set everything up. You and Mercer on Saturday, the really #1 and #2 in the conference, the team that had won the championship at the tournament 4 out of the last 5 years. Susie Gardner and all that talent over there. What was that transition like from Thursday to Saturday to get ready to face another great opponent and another emotional game?
Yeah, we've talked about that on this program before. It is a quick turnaround. And sometimes, for a big game like that, maybe that's better, right? You don't get a lot of chance to think about, hey, we got to just go. And so you're right. Like Mercer, they're so talented. They're well coached. They can score it so many different ways. They guard really hard. So they've been, the standard of this league for the past 6 years. And, for us to have that matchup and to do it for the conference title was really, really special.
And in reverse of Thursday night's game, you're up by double digits in the fourth quarter, and they make their run, and they tie it up with about 2. Your seniors had come through, Lily Hatton and Jackie Carmen, all the emotion of senior day. Yeah. But I thought Helen Matthews was the spark. First of all, she swats away every shot they throw at her. I think she had a career-high 5 blocks. Yeah. But she hits that 3 with about 2 minutes to go, and you guys take it from there.
Well, I think Helen really set the tone early. Yeah. I think she had 4 of those blocks in the first 2 minutes, but really set the tone early that we came ready to play. And you're right. It kind of, that 14-point lead that we built kind of happened really fast too, because it was really tight the whole time. And then all of a sudden you look up and, we've got some stops and scores, and we're up by 14. And they're too good of a team, and they shoot the ball too well, and they guard really hard. And I thought our defense was really good. They just had better offense. I mean, Amoria Neal-Tyser hit some big-time buckets with people in her face. I felt like we guarded it correctly. Then they tied it at 72. Then you're like, oh, come on now. We need something to stop the bleeding. And Helen hit that three, and it just lifted us again, because we had to have a score, and I'm glad it was a three as well too. But yeah, it just kind of gave us the momentum that we needed and the belief that we needed. Hey, we're going to be all right.
Before we talk about the tournament, what was it like to climb up on that ladder and cut down that net?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a great feeling too, and that's one too. Like, I think our players will always remember that, and to see the pictures of it, and to go back later in life to look at it. But at the end of the day, it's just a really cool moment to do it with your teammates and the people that have supported you throughout the time here, and a lot of hard work went into that. The coaching staff, the players, our scout team, all those people had a big emphasis on us getting to that moment.
All right, so you can rest for a couple days. But when we come back, we will preview the Women's Southern Conference Basketball Tournament. That is next here on the Wofford Southern Conference Tournament Preview Show.
You can always count on the crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light, just like you can always count on Always Game Gary. No bar is too far. No wing sauce is too hot. Not for Gary. Gary is the man. He's nothing like Keith. Keith never wants to do anything. Why are we even talking about Keith? Always Game Gary is famous among friends. He deserves a Bud Light. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB St. Louis, Missouri.
And welcome back to the Wofford Basketball Coaches Show. It's the Southern Conference Tournament Preview Edition with Jimmy Garrity. Coach Dwight Perry will join us later. Brought to you by Budweiser of Spartanburg and Yokohama. All right, tourney time. I hope you guys are practicing early wake-up calls, because as the number one seed, you play at 11 a.m. on Thursday as Western Carolina. Hopefully you play at 11 a.m. on Friday and 12 noon on Sunday for a championship. Talk about body clock and getting used to that. That's unusual to have all those 3 games in a row.
Yeah, and we've never experienced that in Asheville. But we do have that time for our kids' game that we typically have every year. So personally, I think it's going to be good. Sometimes, when you play later in the day, that's a long time period, and a lot of thought process can go into that, and you get to think, well, on Thursday, guess what? We're going to wake up, we're going to eat, we're going to go to the gym and play. So that part of it, I think, is going to be good.
The first matchup against Western Carolina, you split during the regular season, won here, lost a tight one up there. How have they evolved, and you evolved since those meetings?
I mean, they're good. They are very talented. They've lost some really close games. They went to double overtime on Saturday as well. But they got some all-conference players on there. Kylie does a great job coaching them. It's going to take our best effort to win, no doubt about it.
You will have a target on your back. You're the number one seed. No freebies. There never are in this tournament anyway. If you were not wearing black and gold right now and you were an outside observer, the overall tournament, wide open? Do you see it going chalk?
Yeah.
What are your initial thoughts?
I mean, I think it's wide open. We talked about this before. If you don't play well and you don't do the things that you do well come tournament time, chances are you're not going to come away with a win. So, we got to continue to do the things that we do well, take care of the ball, we score it fairly well, guard decent, and just be really active. And, if we can do those things, then it gives us our best chance to win.
Well, we will have all the women's games on the Wofford Digital Radio Network. They will be on ESPN Plus as always, too. And we can't thank you enough for this entire season. We're not done yet, but thanks for your time. Thanks to all your players, coaches. They're fantastic to deal with, and best of luck to you in Asheville.
Well, we appreciate that, and we thank you. Thank you to our sponsors, too. They've been fantastic as well.
All right, that's head coach Jimmy Garrity. When we come back, we'll talk Wofford men's basketball and the Southern Conference Tournament with Dwight Perry next.
Behind every adventure is the road that got you there. Behind every passion are the tools that make it happen. And behind every Ford truck and SUV is a Carolina Ford dealer going the extra mile, finding the vehicle you're looking for. It's our commitment to your journey. That's what it means to be true blue. New inventory is arriving daily. For great offers on a new Ford truck or SUV, go to buyfordnow.com or see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
It doesn't matter if you're active on the road or in the gym. Your body is your strongest tool. Spartanburg Regional Sports Medicine Institute is here to push you to the next level. With partnerships across Spartanburg County schools, we're here when it happens. We diagnose, treat, and heal at the Sports Medicine Institute to get you back and active, in the gym, in the game, and to the next level. We never quit because you never quit.
And welcome back. I'm Jim Noble, and this is the Southern Conference Tournament Preview Show, sponsored by Budweiser of Spartanburg and Yokohama. Time to talk men's basketball here at Wofford with head coach Dwight Perry. And you got a little mo heading into the tournament. You won 3 of your last 4. Senior night was amazing here on this floor behind us. And you guys, I don't know if this is accurate. Are you playing with house money at this point? I think a lot of observers have handed this tournament to one of the top 3 teams in the league. And I think that's overlooking a lot of good teams in this conference, including yours, Dwight.
Yeah, to your point, we've done a really good job. I think we're playing our best basketball right now. So we do have a lot of momentum, and that's kind of been the goal. We wanted to be playing our best brand of basketball heading into the conference tournament in March, and that's where we're at, having won 3 of our last 4. Obviously, those 3 teams, Furman, Sanford, and Greensboro, they're playing good basketball. They've been playing well throughout the whole year. Mm-hmm. But we feel really good about our chances, right? We know, right, we were really close against Greensboro last time we played them. We played Furman close. We've beaten Sanford. And so, right, at the end of the day, that's what this tournament's been about, and it will be about. You have 10 teams up there that are well coached, and they all feel like they have a good chance, and that's what you're looking forward to. For us, it's just going to be about what we've been doing, continuing to focus on our brand of basketball, what we can get better at, what we can continue to do that we have done well, so that we give our chance, right? We give our team a great chance versus Greensboro starting Saturday.
I thought this team got tougher Saturday night against Chattanooga with all the emotion of senior night and you know, everybody, BJ and John and Hank and Messiah. The team focused and played. The rebounding, Dwight, was there. The offensive glass, just the way this team physically hung in there against there's some older guys, there's some big bodies on that bunch. What progress do you think was made? I know it's only one game, but I saw something there.
Absolutely. There's a lot of progress that was made, right? To out-rebound that team, right, is huge. At the end of the day, they're one of the 20th oldest teams in the country, and we're one of the 20th youngest teams in the country. So for us, right, to play that game and be physical and play without fouling and out-rebound them and create turnovers and obviously be able to score and protect the paint on both ends of the floor, that's a credit to the growth and progress our team has made, right? And senior night, that's awesome, right? You want to celebrate those 4 seniors, Hank and John and BJ and Messiah, and there's no better way to celebrate those guys than to have a great all-around team performance the last game of the season, and we did that.
All right, when we come back, it is time to turn our attention to Asheville, the first-round matchup with UNC Greensboro, and hopefully a couple more after that. That's coming up next.
Think big. Something life-changing. I'm talking education. Let's get inventive. Blow things up in a good way. Do it for 20 years? Wake up and education has received billions in funding. Who does all this? If you've ever played one of these or these, that would be you. Yeah, thank you.
Black and gold. Bold. A victory story about to be told. Grit, toughness, and tenacity. A hub of hard work in Hub City. We're on these wins like dogs on a bone. In the zone. Our place, in your face, won't leave you alone. Strength, speed, fire, true. I'm sorry, do these things trouble you? We're Wofford College. We fly the W. Ingalls, proud partner of the Wofford Terriers.
And And welcome back. So it's tournament time, the most wonderful time of the year. I love conference tournament time. Asheville's the perfect place. There are 3 phases to every season. You've got your non-conference, you've got your conference schedule, and then there's the tournament. What kind of mental reset goes into getting a team ready to play one and done potentially basketball when you go to a tournament and everybody's back is up against the wall every game they play?
Yeah, I think it can't be a complete shift, right? You can't do something and play completely different than you've played all year. You have to stick with what has worked well. And so having said that, there does need to be an added sense of urgency, right? We have to kick it up a notch, but you can't do a complete 180. And so for us, right, the thing that what we have to really focus in on this week, what can we continue to get better at, right, within reason, heading into the conference tournament? What are the areas of basketball that we have done a really good job of exploiting the other teams so that we can continue to do those things well? Because what you don't want to do, you don't want to try, right, to reinvent the wheel and try to get better at a bunch of different things. And then, right, you end up losing sight of what has worked well for you. And so I think that's something we really want to do. We're going to play hard. We're going to play tough. We're going to play together. And if we can tweak a couple things defensively and a couple things offensively, then I think it'll put ourselves in a really good position.
You played all these teams twice. There are really no secrets anymore. In terms of UNCG, overtime loss at their place, single-digit loss here. They come at you physically. They try to inflict chaos upon you. How ready are your guys for that now after 2 meetings?
So we're very ready. I mean, they're a team, again, they're a team that they start 5 seniors, sometimes 4 seniors. 3 of those guys are grad transfers. They're a super old team, and on top of being old, they're experienced and they're physical. And they do a really good job of playing physical and bringing that physicality to both sides of the ball. And so you know when you're going into that game against a UNC Greensboro, right, it's not going to be a pillow fight. It's going to be a battle. But our guys are looking forward to that challenge. And a credit to them, we were right there the last time we played the overtime loss at their place. Our guys fought and clawed. We just didn't quite make enough plays at the end. But I think our team's up to the challenge, and we really look forward to trying to put our best foot forward on Saturday to give our team a great chance against them.
With a week off, our rotation is not as deep as it once was because of injuries. Will that help in terms of hopefully playing 3 games in 3 nights?
Absolutely. I mean, there's some injuries that, this time off, it won't change, and there's guys that won't be available. But, I mean, this time of year, I think, regardless, no one is 100%. Right. And so anytime you can have this time off to kind of regroup, recharge, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally, because it's been a grind, it's been a battle, right, for all teams, but especially ours with everything that our team has been through. And so I think this time off will serve us very well so that we're going into the week recharged and ready to roll.
I always joke with our guys, hey, you guys are young and the ball's not that heavy. So hopefully they can 3 games in 3 nights. They're doing what they love to do, college basketball. It's all about that. Final question for you. Same thing I asked Jimmy Garrity. If you weren't wearing black and old gold right now, and we were just in there as an observer, how do you see this tournament playing out? National pundits have handed it to the top 3 teams very often. Very often, this tournament does not go that way. Do you see a dark horse? Do you see a clear favorite? Do you see any words of wisdom as we head up there this weekend?
Yeah, anyone that can sit here and say they know exactly what's going to happen, they should go and get a lottery ticket. But having said that, I think it's impossible to know. Right, to your point, this is a tournament that has 10 good teams, 10 competitive teams, 10 great coaches, and at the end of the day, right, what you can't do is focus on 3 games in 3 days. All you can worry about is the one game that you have guaranteed and promised, and that's the one we happen to have Saturday. Other teams play Friday. Other teams obviously play other teams on Saturday. But you just have to take it one game at a time. And this time of year, right, you can't worry about, okay, what this team could do, what this team could do, what we're going to have to do, on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. What do we have to do to beat UNC Greensboro? And obviously the other teams have that as well. And you let it play out as it goes. But I think it's impossible to sit here and say this team has a clear advantage because we all know how basketball works and how the Southern Conference has played out this year.
I wouldn't have it any other way. It's going to be fun. Now, I want to thank a few people before we say goodbye. First of all, our sports information intern, Ryan Scott, behind the camera, Omar and Megan, always helping us out, and you and your staff. It has been a tumultuous year. You guys have stepped up into the breach, really been somebody that these players can rely on. So I want to thank you and your assistant coaches and your trainers and everybody. And it has been very, very fun to get to know these guys and hopefully onward and upward for everybody involved. But thanks again. You've been great to work with.
Absolutely. Definitely want to thank you and thank everyone that you just named. Also, it would be remiss if I didn't give a huge thank you to the administration. They've been awesome, extremely supportive. To your point, our coaching staff, right? Diane Boyce, Paul Coyer, David Kaplan, Ty Anderson, Will Murphy. They've been awesome. They've been unbelievable. And most importantly, right, as a staff, our players deserve a huge thanks with what they've been through, with how they have gone through this whole season and the way in which they've done it. They've been nothing short of resilient. It's been amazing to watch. I've grown a lot just being around them, and a huge thanks and credit goes to them because this whole season is all because of how hard and how tough they've been physically, mentally, and emotionally.
We agree. For Dwight Perry and, of course, Jimmy Garrity as well, I'm Jim Noble. Thanks so much for watching the Coaches Shows all season long. Thanks to our sponsors, Budweiser of Spartanburg and Yokohama, and we will see you next season.